There's no denying that the world is a tricky and stressful place these days. And many people go to therapy, which I'm sure is extremely helpful for some people. But through the ups and downs of my life, I've always chosen a different path. Now, that path has been many things, from working too many hours, consuming too much alcohol, which I don't do anymore, buying things that I don't need and will probably never use, to engaging in the next big project to distract myself from all the failures and stresses in my life. But none of these have worked, ever. What has worked, what's always worked for me, is driving to a place devoid of man-made structures with a camera and a tripod and taking some photos. And whilst it hasn't solved my marriage problems or my money problems, more about that at the end, it certainly helped. When I had a heart attack in my late 30s, the first thing I did was fire the client who was causing all the stress. And then I drove to the hills with a camera and a tripod. A few years later, when after 20 years of hard work I lost everything, I found solace yet again in the hills with a camera and a tripod. Then in 2007, when my ex-wife and I split, you guessed it, hills, camera, tripod. And every time it's worked. By that I mean, it cleared my head, rebalanced my perspective, granted not by much sometimes, and dramatically reduced my levels of stress, anxiety, and even depression. Life is, if nothing else, paradoxical. Many of you watching this video will live a pretty decent life compared to 80% of the world's population. You'll likely have access to food, shelter, medical care, and utilities, including, of course, the internet. Yet despite our good fortune, many of us suffer the effects of overwhelm, constant noise, way too much screen time, too much work, conflicting ambitions, FOMO, anxiety, and ultimately, an absence of meaning and purpose. I think landscape photographers convince themselves they're artists when really they're just emotionally unstable weather enthusiasts. But we understand something profound. Time spent in nature with a camera can heal many things. Something about the grandeur and permanence of mountains has always appealed to me, and when the weather is changeable, like it is today, with the fog and the clouds dancing over peaks and valleys, it's even more powerful. It's kind of funny, when the average driver sees fog, they slow down and squint at the road surface to avoid running off it. When photographers see fog, they lean into the windscreen and search frantically for a place to shoot before the fog lifts. You see, the beautiful thing about outdoor photography is it forces you to pay attention to something besides your problems for extended blocks of time. This gives your adult brain time to settle, to operate on a different wavelength. Modern life, especially through social media, does the exact opposite. Every 90 seconds it says, hey, look over here, get angry at this, want this product, envy this person, lament this failure, you're not trying hard enough, you're a nobody. If you've followed me for a while, you'll know I've loved cars since I first began driving 50 years ago, and that I own and adore a 13-year-old Porsche Boxster. I don't need a fast car out here though. I need a car that encourages me to wander, a car that can take me pretty much anywhere. I bought this 2015 Cayenne V6 diesel exactly a year ago, and it's perfect for this kind of thing. In fact, I've racked up just over 40,000 kilometres in that time. I'll have to give you another owner update on it soon because I have spent some money on it recently. But it's a brilliant machine that continues to surprise and delight. I see now why some people go on to own multiple Cayennes. They're beautifully made and they're just so damn versatile. I have to concede, therapy would be cheaper than this. Outdoor photography is therapeutic, but if you're not careful, the desire for newer, fancy gear can escalate. A therapist won't lure you back to their office again and again with a flashier, higher megapixel couch every few months. They certainly won't make you stand on a freezing hill waiting for clouds. I joke about photography being as good as therapy, but my experience suggests that there's some truth in it. Because after a few hours out here, the noise disappears, the pressure evaporates, and all that matters is the light, the weather, the scent on the breeze, and the sounds of nature around me. All I need to do is be present and bear witness to it. Nature and the quiet practice of photography takes care of the rest. Famed psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor Viktor Frankl believed meaning doesn't come from chasing happiness directly. It comes from giving yourself to something meaningful, creating something, carrying responsibility, and paying attention to the world outside yourself. This helps explain why photography feels therapeutic. It pulls you out of your own head and gives you somewhere to aim your attention, a reason to get up early, drive towards the dawn, and stand in the cold waiting for light that may never arrive. Because in those quiet moments between waiting and capturing, life feels a little clearer again. For me, true to Frankl's prescription, I'm paying attention to the world outside myself. In my case, nature's incredible beauty. I'm giving myself to something meaningful and creating something of value to the select few who'll appreciate it. People like you. Now, back to what I was saying about photography not solving your life's problems, your marriage problems, your money problems, your health problems, although it can certainly help your health. There's no doubt about that. This story might imply that a camera and a tripod are all you need to solve life's problems. And of course, that's not true. I know from experience that it's always best to identify the root cause of a problem and address it directly, often awkwardly, painfully, inconveniently, but directly nonetheless. What outdoor photography does, probably more than anything, is it allows your mind to settle so that solutions can percolate. I find this happens a lot when I'm driving on a long drive into the country, is my mind is distracted with the act of driving, and so my subconscious starts to ruminate on solutions to problems, and often they just pop out of nowhere, just like they do when you're in the shower. Outdoor photography offers a welcome and usually much needed dose of perspective. You know, it's kind of hard to feel that the world is bearing down on you when you're stood on top of a hill looking out over a vast landscape. Honestly, this is something I can see myself doing 20 years from now. So if you want to keep me honest, subscribe to the channel and let's see if this still holds true in 2046. And if you want to hear from me on occasion, pretty rarely via email, then subscribe to my One More Thing newsletter. You'll find a link to that in the description below. I don't bombard you with crap or try to sell you stuff. And I can only put it out occasionally because I'm bloody busy. But yeah, you'll find a link for that below. Thanks for watching this one. Hope to see the next one. Bye for now.